1990s were Michael Jordan's decade in the NBA. While he was winning 6 titles with the Bulls, 29 other organizations missed out on championship glory. These are the stories of some of the teams that were relegated to footnotes on MJ's path to the top. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns, who were terrible in their inaugural 1968-69 season, but were a coin flip away from greatness.
The coin has come up tails.
But the Milwaukee Bucks won that coin toss, and they got to select Lou Alcindor in the 1969 NBA draft and win a title just 2 years later. Instead, the Suns spent the next few years being pretty bad, then going to the 1976 NBA Finals and being pretty good under Coach John McCloud, before being pretty bad again. Some of the franchise's best players were Alvin Adams, who looked nothing like his name indicated, Dick Van Arsdale, who looked exactly like his name indicated, Walter Davis, and Paul Westphal. In February 1988, the Suns traded Larry Nance, Mike Sanders, and a first-round pick for rookie Kevin Johnson, Mark West, Ty Corbin, and a few picks. Johnson, a 6'1" point guard from Cal, was the 7th pick in the '87 draft and proved to be the crown jewel of the trade. Johnson was an excellent scoring point guard, the only Sun to average both 20 points and 10 assists in a season, which he did 3 times, and 4 more where he averaged 19 and 9. In July of '88, Tom Chambers signed with Phoenix as the NBA's first unrestricted free agent and scored 26 points per game that season before scoring 27 the following year. In his first 3 seasons in Phoenix, he scored more total points than Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon. One of the picks in the Johnson trade was used to select Dan Marley from Central Michigan in '88. Marley was good enough to make the '88 Olympic team, and he had fan favorite written all over him. But he was a good player who made 3 All-Star teams and second-team All-Defense twice. In '87-'88, the Suns went 28-54. After those additions, they won 55 games in '88-'89 and finished with the second-best record in the West, behind only the Lakers. For a while, the Suns also had Jeff Hornacek, who was a good player in Phoenix. However, perhaps sensing Hornacek would one day embarrass the organization by getting punched in the face by Jerry Stackhouse, the Suns packaged him with 2 other players to land Charles Barkley in 1992.
Goodness gracious, Charles Barkley.
Never before or since had the Suns had a player of Barkley's caliber of star power. At the time of the trade, only Chuck and Olajuwon were in the top 15 in total points, rebounds, and steals since 1984. Barkley came from Philadelphia after a run of some of the most efficient offensive seasons in history. From '87 to '92, Barkley shot better than 55% from the field every year, won a rebounding title, and somehow averaged 4 assists a game, consistently passing the bums. And he did all this at 6'6". Also arriving in 1988 was Cotton Fitzsimmons, who, surprisingly, didn't wear bow ties. For 20 years, including an early '70s stint with Phoenix, Fitzsimmons helmed largely mediocre teams at 5 different stops. But he returned to Phoenix and things started rolling. The Suns went to the conference finals his first 2 years back in Phoenix, and the Suns won 50 games each of the 4 seasons in his second stint. Fitzsimmons retired in '92 and was replaced by Hall of Fame player Paul Westphal, a 5-time All-Star who averaged 20 points per game in his 6 seasons in Phoenix. After coaching at Southwestern Baptist Bible College and Grand Canyon University, Westphal was an assistant for Fitzsimmons before taking over. In his first 3 seasons as Suns coach, coinciding with Barkley's arrival, Phoenix won 59 games per season and made 1 trip to the NBA Finals. He still has the highest winning percentage in Suns history. The Suns made the conference finals twice under Fitzsimmons, but things got real when Barkley got to town in '92. Sure, Phoenix had the NBA's 5th best winning percentage from '89 to '92, but that was only 4th in the West. After the Lakers began to decline, the West was open for the first time in a decade, but the Suns lacked a singular player on the level of Magic Johnson, or even Clyde Drexler or Karl Malone. Once they had that guy, the Suns won 62 games, most in the NBA in '92-'93, and went to the finals. For the next 3 seasons, the Suns were legitimate contenders for the championship. In this span, Phoenix led the NBA in win percentage and points per game while ranking 2nd in three-pointers and assists. They also ranked 4th with 25 playoff wins, trailing only the Rockets, Knicks, and Bulls. There's Charles, who is as lovable as any player at his most lovable. As we've discussed, fans love chubby ballers, and Barkley was the old standard. They called him the round mound to rebound, and in '84, he was listed at 284 pounds. There has never been, nor ever again will there be, a player quite like him, with that athleticism and that body. Every other player who logged 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 1,000 steals in NBA history was at least 3 inches taller than him. He's also spent the last 35 years being the most consistent quote in sports. Like a few of these.
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble.
The doctor went in there, sewed my arm on, but it was a ripped off in a tractor trailer accident.
People never get tired. You get tired of you sometimes?
Well, I think that anytime you have an intellectual of my magnitude,
Let's also get to Dan Marley, a.k.a. Thunder Dan. Fan favorite stuff aside, Marley gave that try-hard stuff while actually being good. And Thunder Dan is a hell of a nickname, you must admit. He dunked on you, too. And did I mention chubby ballers? Let's talk about Oliver Miller. Miller was a standout in college at Arkansas, notable for playing in a white t-shirt that he probably wore to pool parties, too. But don't let your eyes fool you. Miller was highly skilled and one of the best outlet passers ever, on top of giving Chuck the rare opportunity to laugh at someone else for being heavy. Among bigs, Miller ranked 5th in total assists during his 2 seasons in Phoenix. Well, there's Charles, who could be as hateable as any player ever. There's the time he accidentally spit on a little girl at a game, and saying he was worried about an Angolan player at the Olympics carrying a spear that the guy hadn't eaten in a few weeks. And the time he threw a guy out of a window, except, all right, that guy had it coming. Speaking of which, can we put Hornacek Stackhouse up again? Yeah. Can we put Hornacek Stackhouse up again? Oh yeah, Danny Ainge. The euphemism for him is feisty. He was a really good player and even more effective whiny antagonist. He once brought a man to the point of trying to bite off his finger. You heard that right. Then there's Kevin Johnson, who was one of the good guys when he was playing.
Role models, special athletes. He's something else.
So much so he became the mayor of Sacramento, his hometown. Then we found out, no, he's a bad guy. A really bad guy. Google will take care of this for you. Apparently Doc Rivers was wise, even as a player, when he went to put the pause on KJ in '93. We got a game and a name for this section. The game is Game 3 in the first round of the '94 playoffs. Earlier in the season, Golden State rookie Chris Webber had his first OMG NBA moment when he went behind his back on a fast break and dunked on Barkley. Nike even made a commercial centered around it.
Nike said, we want to make this commercial with you and Chris Webber. I didn't know they was going to show the commercial of him dunking on me. So when I saw the commercial, I just started laughing. And then we just happened to play them in the first round of the playoffs. And I said, I got to get this dude back. He made fun of me, dunking on me in the barber shop.
With Phoenix up 2-0 over the Warriors, Barkley had one of his best games ever. In a game where the Suns needed every point he scored, Barkley put up 56 and 14 rebounds, shot 3 for 4 from three-point range, and hit this shot to ice it. That was the second time since the merger a player scored 55 or more points in a playoff game. The name is Richard Dumas. Dumas was a rookie for the '93 team and averaged almost 16 points per game in 48 games. The 6'8 small forward was a rangy wing with the potential to be a two-way star. In Game 5 of the '93 finals, he scored 25 points to help the Suns avoid elimination. But he slipped to the second round in the '92 draft because of concerns about substance abuse, and those issues continued to dog him. He missed the '93-'94 season because of suspension and never played a full NBA season again. The Suns only had one series against Jordan and the Bulls. Phoenix had home court advantage and the league's MVP, Barkley.
I'd rather win playoff MVP because I think you get a truck, don't you? I didn't get no truck. I want a truck.
They had a quick guard and a post presence, two things that gave the Bulls trouble. So, of course, Jordan delivered the best of his 6 finals performances. He averaged 41 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game against the Suns. He scored 31 or more every game, shooting over 50% every game but one on the way to the highest scoring average in finals history. The two-time defending champion Bulls took the first 2 games at America West Arena, but the Suns overcame Jordan's 44 in Game 3 to keep hope alive, which led to Jordan scoring 55 in Game 4, overcoming Barkley's 32-12-10 triple-double in Chicago's 111-105 win. Phoenix didn't go down easy, winning Game 5 108-98 with Barkley, Johnson, and Dumas combining for 74 points. That meant all the Suns had to do was hold home court and they would be NBA champions. Easy enough, right?
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I believe it 100% that it's just our destiny. Oh, no, he said he read a different Bible than I did.
Well, Game 6 was a classic. The Suns roared back from a double-digit fourth-quarter deficit and led 98-96 with 14.4 seconds left. The Bulls finished the game with 12 fourth-quarter points, tied for the fewest points scored in the fourth in finals history. Jordan scored 9 of those points. Here are the other 3.
Pippen runs down the lane, dumps it out to Horace, Paxson for 3! Yeah! Yeah! Hits the 3! 3 and 9, 10 seconds left, and the Bulls lead 99-98.
After losing to the Bulls, the Suns remained poised to dominate the West. Dumas couldn't stay clean and Chambers moved on, but the core remained intact and powered Phoenix to 56 wins in '93-'94. After sweeping the Warriors in the first round, the Suns took a 2-0 lead over the Rockets with games 3 and 4 in Phoenix. Behind Hakeem Olajuwon, Houston won both of the games at America West Arena to even the series. The home teams won 5 and 6, setting up Game 7 at the Summit. Olajuwon's 37 and 17 were too much for the Suns, and the Rockets won the series and eventually the franchise's first title. In '95, the same teams met in the same round. This time, the 59-win Suns had home court advantage and, again, jumped to a 2-0 lead in the series. Houston won Game 3, setting up a seemingly do-or-die Game 4 for the defending champs. KJ, who dominated the Rockets in the 94 and 95 postseason, scored 43 with 9 assists, and Phoenix took a 3-1 series lead. When asked about possibly losing 3 games in a row, Suns forward AC Green said,
"It won't happen."
AC! That's the line of the day. I couldn't guarantee a victory. What'd you say? That's my new business good. It won't happen. It damn sure won't happen. AC.
What'd you say, Charles?
It won't happen. AC Green, guaranteed to win.
So, Game 5 was grueling. Both Barkley and Green had 20 rebounds for the Suns. Phoenix took a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter, and what was a high-scoring affair turned ugly. Perhaps most ugly was Barkley at the free throw line, where he missed 3 late in regulation and 5 of 6 for the game. Houston got the game to overtime before winning 103-97, highlighted by Clyde Drexler, who suffered from the flu and ripped an IV from his arm 45 minutes before game time, hitting 2 big free throws in overtime. The Rockets handily won Game 6 in Houston, setting up a classic Game 7. Johnson carried the Suns again with 46 points, one shy of the record for points in a Game 7. But Barkley continued his subpar series, scoring just 18 points with 7 turnovers. The Rockets got 29 apiece from Olajuwon and Drexler. With under 20 seconds left, the score was tied with Johnson at the line. He missed this free throw, giving the Rockets a chance to win the series. What followed was Mario Elie from the corner, delivering something Houstonians refer to as the kiss of death.
Elie out of the corner for 3, hit it! Mario Elie with a 3 with 7.1 seconds to play.
And that was that. The following season, the Suns crashed to earth, finishing 41-41 and losing in the first round of the playoffs. Westphal quit in the middle of the season. Barkley was traded to Houston after the season, and Johnson's physical decline continued. But for a brief moment, the Suns had a chance. And the one time they did everything they were supposed to do, they got the best version of Michael Jordan we've ever seen. It would be bad luck if they hadn't been so bad to themselves.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.